Cam, what are your emotions after that one? Penrith pretty much perfect in the first half, and yeah, it seemed to be over at half time.
Yeah, that first half's a pretty painful lesson for us in the future. We ran into a champion team that knows exactly what it takes to win these big games, and they were near perfect, and we were off the mark there in the first half. I think they completed at 100%, and we just we'd made a couple errors, but we just didn't have the defensive intensity that was needed, and every opportunity they got, they took. So yeah, that was a nightmare, that first half, and hard. But these guys, I'm just so proud of them throughout the year when they've had to face adversity and been in positions like that they come out and they never stop fighting, they never give in, they never get torn apart. So to come out in the second half and attack the game the way they did, I thought was really, made me really proud. Look, let's be honest. At half time, you're winning a semi-final 36-8. You got every right, being the Panthers, to start thinking about next week and go into self-preservation mode. And I totally understand that would have been part of it. But in terms of what our guys could control, I thought the way we attacked the second half, with and without the ball, was awesome. And I think we scored some tries there in the second half, but it was we left a couple out there as well.
What does it say, especially with 20 minutes to go, when you said it could have gone either way, like they could have just kept going, you could have given up, but you found a weakness really, and you kept peppering it, and the guys kept going, as you said. A couple of passes hit the mark. It's probably a 2-score game with about 10 to go.
Yeah, we had a really clear game plan of what we wanted to do. We just weren't allowed to do it in the first half. Like they just completed sets and made us come off our own line, and that pressure forced us into some errors, and they were brilliant. But again, at half time, our guys, there was a challenge there, and that's embarrassing, being in that position and the biggest game of your life, and just the way they went about in the second half is something to be really proud of. I think our fans should be really proud of the way they have held together this season, and the way they've gone about it and stuck together, and the way they fought in the second half.
Starting side that we haven't seen this year, Cam. Could you talk us through starting Reid and also Ciraldo, given he's been so strong off the bench for you this year?
Yeah, look, we just probably felt like we've been a middle short all year. Ciraldo's been one of our best players in his limited amount of games with us, and we just thought we had to start fast and go after it, and Ciraldo's the guy that when you're in combat you want him. So that was part of the plan, but just the possession and field position just sort of thwarted that plan.
Cam, how do you look back at it? Like, first after 16 rounds, the season finished, 30 minutes ago. When you reflect, what did you learn? Like, would you have changed anything? What did you learn from the past, three or so months?
No, I wouldn't change a thing. This is all part of the journey. There's been some tough times this year. Our guys have had to deal with a lot more scrutiny than probably some other places, and the way they've stuck together and handled it, and just kept building a really strong culture. I'm just incredibly proud. Our season was weird. We were coming first, but we'd had a couple of buys there that helped us sit in that position. We played a lot of top quality opposition in the second half of the year. This is the first year our club's had to go through origin period with a lot of players involved in a long time. So that's another sort of part of our learning. And then we had injuries at different times which didn't help us as well. I know you sort of know what the headlines will be, but internally we're really clear on how this season panned out, what was good, what we need to do better, and today's a massive lesson in that as well.
Vindication is the right word. What do you take out of Lockie? He was really the spark and attack. Him and Jacob pressed on that right edge. All the good things are happening down that channel.
Yeah, we don't need no vindication or validation on what we're doing. We know what we're doing. I'm really confident in what we're doing. But for Lockie to go out there today and attack the game the way he did, I thought he was in one of our top players out there. I thought Bailey Hayward was one of our top players out there when he got on the field. And for those two guys in particular to come out and play, will be two of our best on the big stage under the most pressure, says a lot about their character in terms of how much crap they had to deal with this week, and external opinions. Like those two guys are tough characters. They're going to play a massive part in our future.
Do you feel like today is a day where a lot of the guys learned some lessons that they'll carry forward into next year?
Yeah, 100%. Just had a chat in there, spoke about it's all about part of the process of being being a champion team like the team we just faced today. Just another stepping stone, another lesson learned today that we're going to carry into pre-season, work hard and hopefully come back bigger and better next year.
It's not an excuse, sort of, but obviously losing Stephen Crichton, what it did to your edges in terms of the way they were able to cut you apart on the edges, especially in the first half. Like, how much of a factor was that? Just, I guess, the not disorganisation, but just new edges, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah. Look, to be fair, we won't win at a tackle in the middle, so your edges are going to be under pressure no matter who's there. But yeah, those new combinations on the edges, as much as we're plug in, plug out of the system, it definitely causes some trouble. So yeah, we just got to be better. We've got to have guys ready to go in that system because injuries happen in finals games, and we need to be better.
I don't know it's right now, but you know the other guys in that shed pretty well. Do they look like a side that's on the way to a 5th straight title?
Well, at half time, they definitely did. Yeah, they know what it takes to win big games. Champion team, got some champion players in there, and they're going to be very hard to beat.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.